After breaking up with a narcissist, have you ever wondered if they feel any regret or remorse for what happened? Do they miss you or care about your life after the two of you are no longer together? Or was it all just a release for them, a chapter closed to make way for new romantic adventures? Today we will seek the answer to the question, do narcissists truly care when you're no longer in their life? Join me as we delve into the hidden corners of a narcissist's psyche to better understand how they deal with separation and the steps you need to take to protect yourself from unnecessary harm. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on more exciting content. Although narcissists may appear to have moved on effortlessly on the surface, they often don't truly forget past relationships. In their minds, you remain a significant reference point, a benchmark they use to compare every new relationship. This isn't because they love or respect you, but because you were once a unique source of emotional supply, a connection they find difficult to replicate. For narcissists, people aren't seen as individuals but as objects to exploit. Your emotional reactions, empathy and love made you an ideal object that's hard to replace. After the relationship ends, narcissists typically enter a cycle of seeking new people to fill the void you left. However, these new connections rarely bring them the same satisfaction as being with you did. This isn't because you're perfect or irreplaceable, but because they lack the ability to build genuinely deep and sincere relationships. All their relationships revolve around manipulation and exploitation, offering only fleeting satisfaction but never sustainable connection. Your unique qualities provided the narcissist with the emotional validation they crave but cannot create for themselves. Your emotional responses, whether care, love, or even pain, were the fuel that fed their fragile ego. Without you, they lose a vital source of emotional supply, and no matter how hard they try, their new relationships often fail to recreate what you provided. This leaves them in a state of internal instability, perpetually searching but never satisfied. Narcissists often create the impression that they are indifferent and quickly move on to new relationships after ending an old one. Outwardly, they seem unaffected by the breakup, appearing to carry on with their lives with ease. This can lead many to mistakenly believe that narcissists genuinely don't care or feel any sense of loss. However, the reality is far more complex. When you break free from the role of their victim, when you heal, rise stronger and move on, the narcissist is left at a loss. They may disappear entirely, pretend to be happy, or even deliberately ignore you. This isn't because they don't care, but because they cannot accept the fact that they have failed at the manipulative game they created. You've broken their cycle, seen through their facade, and exposed the selfishness behind their charm. When you leave, the narcissist is forced to confront the pain of abandonment, a profound sense of loss, and the reality that they let someone as exceptional as you slip away. Even if they try to find other targets, no one can completely replace you. Their silence isn't just a tactic, it's also a testament to their hurt and bitter failure. They avoid reality, avoid themselves, and avoid you. They are well aware that you're doing well. Even if they don't actively seek out information about you, they struggle to stop themselves from doing so. They avoid looking at your social media or asking about you because they know that any news about your healing, success, or happiness, especially with someone who loves and values you as you deserve, would make them feel worse. After a breakup, narcissists often choose to retreat. They might vanish from your life immediately or reappear sporadically in attempts to hoover you back, sometimes months or even years later. But remember, when you firmly reject these attempts and focus on your healing, you deliver a crushing blow to their ego. Your ability to move on and thrive deeply wounds them. It's like a chess game where you've checkmated them, not just by winning, but by proving that you've completely outgrown and surpassed them in every way. If they don't try to win you back, it's not because they don't care. In fact, they fully recognize your strength. Even though they exploited you, they understand your immense value and potential. They know that once you've escaped their grasp, you'll rise strong and shine brightly. And this realization makes them feel unworthy of you. Your departure causes a seismic shift in the narcissist's world. The fear of abandonment, the pain of rejection, all these emotions collide, creating a whirlwind of inner turmoil they don't know how to handle. In the midst of this storm, silence becomes their lifeline, a way to escape reality and cocoon themselves in illusions. They build a wall of silence, pretending to be indifferent and unaffected as if your absence hasn't fazed them. They busy themselves with new plans and relationships, deliberately projecting the image that they don't need you and have found someone better. This is their way of defending themselves, of deceiving themselves into believing that they are still in control. But beneath the facade, the truth remains. Your strength, independence, and ability to thrive without them have shaken them to their core. However, hidden beneath that artificial facade lies a heart full of fear and insecurity. They are afraid to face the truth that they were wrong, that they lost someone valuable. They dare not confront you, your reproaches, or the disappointment in your eyes. Thus, they choose to manipulate indirectly. They will accidentally expose happy pictures, new successes on social media, or coincidentally send you news about their seemingly rosy new life through mutual acquaintances. They try to paint a perfect picture, a better version of themselves, to provoke you, put pressure on you, and ultimately draw you back. Their silence is merely a surface act. Beneath it, schemes and manipulations are still at play. They still crave your attention, aim to control your emotions, and have not abandoned the intent to manipulate you once again. The essence of a narcissist lies in their lack of deep emotional connection. When they transition to a new relationship, their goal is not to seek genuine connection, but to replace the supply they just lost. This supply is the emotional validation, attention, and admiration they received from their partner. Elements that sustain their false self-image. The indifference they display is, in fact, a defense mechanism to mask their inner instability. Quickly jumping into a new relationship is their way of avoiding the emptiness caused by the loss of their supply. However, no matter how quickly they move on, these new relationships often fail to bring the same satisfaction. They may think of the previous supply because each person provides a unique emotional response that no one else can replicate. Thus, their indifference and swift transition to new relationships are mere surface-level actions, concealing a complex reality. The narcissist's dependence on those who provide them with value. Due to their inability to empathize or put themselves in someone else's shoes, they often view others as sources of supply rather than as individuals with inherent worth and unique emotions. Empathy is a key factor in building genuine relationships, but narcissists see it as a tool for manipulation and control rather than for sharing and connection. They may feign care or understanding just to achieve personal goals, such as gaining praise, attention, or power. However, this facade cannot be maintained for long. When a relationship no longer serves their interests, the narcissist will quickly withdraw, often leaving the other party hurt and confused. Their lack of empathy not only prevents them from forming sustainable relationships, but also traps them in a cycle of shallow and manipulative interactions. This is why relationships with narcissists often bring instability and harm to those involved. Moreover, narcissists are often unaware that the problem lies within themselves. They believe their dissatisfaction stems from others failing to meet their expectations or not being good enough. This leads them to repeat the same behaviors, seeking, exploiting, and then feeling disappointed. This vicious cycle not only harms those they interact with, but also exacerbates their own feelings of emptiness and discontent. Notably, even if they seem to have moved on, they often keep you in their mind as a golden standard. They remember how you used to react, how you would give in, and how you tried to please them. These memories are not rooted in regret or love, but serve as a reminder of the emotional supply they have lost. In many cases, narcissists may even attempt to hoover you, drawing you back into their lives, just to regain the sense of power and control they once held. Hoovering is often executed through subtle tactics such as sending seemingly harmless messages, accidentally appearing at places you frequent, or even using apologies and promises of change. These actions can leave you feeling confused and sometimes even hopeful that they have truly changed. However, in reality, all their efforts are aimed at maintaining control and securing their own interests. They may use fond memories from the past or create the illusion that they need you more than ever. all to persuade you to return. If you do return, the cycle of manipulation will resume, often at an even more toxic level. They may quickly revert to behaviors like criticism, belittling, and undermining your self-worth. This not only causes harm but can also leave you feeling trapped, unable to leave again. Hoovering is not a sign of love or genuine care. It is merely a way for the narcissist to protect their fragile ego and maintain the supply they need to feel validated. The loss a narcissist feels when you leave is not because they love you or regret the relationship, but because they have lost a part of their power. In their mind, you belong to them, a personal asset they can use at will. When they can no longer control you, they feel empty and unstable, leading to hoovering behaviors as a way to regain temporary stability. However, this does not change the true nature of the relationship, a bond based on power and manipulation, not respect and genuine love. Their desire for you to return does not stem from sincere love or regret for their mistakes. It is fueled by their inflated ego and fragile self-esteem. For the narcissist, your return is like a powerful emotional fix, soothing their wounds, restoring their sense of power, and reinforcing the self-possession they cannot bear to see tarnished. They do not love you in the way a truly loving person would. They only love the sense of victory and control they can re-establish when you come back. In their eyes, your return signifies your admission that you were wrong, that you cannot live without them. This serves as proof of their arrogant ego and ultimate power. They feel like a chess champion, basking in the smug satisfaction that they still hold the key card in your life. Your return is not an opportunity to rebuild the relationship, but a way for them to reaffirm their ability to manipulate and control you, like a puppet in their hands. A narcissist may paint fantastical visions of a bright future, using sweet words like honey to lull you into a dreamlike illusion. They will appear caring, attentive, and promise change to rebuild happiness with you. But behind the perfect mask lies a cunning, deceitful individual. They have not changed. Instead, they remain obsessed with power and control, ready to trample on you to solidify their position. If you let yourself be drawn back in, it means willingly stepping into hell once again. You will continue to endure toxic mind games, sophisticated manipulations, and relentless emotional damage. The narcissist does not care about your feelings or happiness. The only thing they care about is the power and control they can maintain. This is why maintaining no contact is crucial. By ignoring their hoovering attempts, you break their power game. They will feel frustrated at losing control over you, and the truth is, they are terrified. They fear you will use this opportunity to rise, becoming stronger and more independent than ever. They fear you will succeed and shine brightly without them. They fear you will find true happiness, something they can never offer you. Every time you reject them, you assert your strength and self-worth. The more steadfast you are, the more helpless and desperate they feel. They may pretend to be happy, but the truth is they are consumed by pain and insecurity. They do not want you to know that they are failing miserably in life and in their attempts to control you. Narcissists do not change. They merely try to hide the fact that they are jealous of you, of your happiness and newfound freedom. They know you are doing well, and it drives them mad. They want to destroy you, to drag you down with them, because they cannot bear to see you happy. Your departure has deeply wounded them. They once believed you would never dare to leave them, that you would forever depend on them, but you have proven the opposite. You have bravely stepped out of the shadows, and now you are shining brighter than ever. The more they try to ignore and pretend not to care, the greater their pain grows. They cannot face you because they know they have lost. You have won their own game, and that fills them with shame and humiliation. The more they see you succeed, the worse they become. They will gradually retreat because they know they can no longer manipulate you. You have escaped their control, and now you are living a life of freedom and happiness. Stay vigilant. Do not let sweet promises or temporary actions deceive you. Returning to them is a never-ending spiral of pain, where you will continue to be hurt and lose yourself. Be courageous and step out of their shadow. Let go of illusions, sever all ties, and head toward the light of a free future, where you are truly loved, respected, and cherished. You deserve true happiness, a happiness you will never find while with a narcissist. Even when the narcissist comes back to find you or attempts to enter new relationships, they still cannot escape the profound sense of emptiness inside them. This feeling is not simply the longing or regret they once felt for you, but an emptiness that no one else can fill. The new people they meet, no matter how good or suitable they may be, cannot fulfill the emotional needs they crave. The void you left behind is not just the absence of a companion, but the loss of a unique emotional supply they once exploited. What's worth noting is that the connection the narcissist desires is in fact an illusion built on their selfish needs. They are not seeking a relationship based on love, empathy, or mutual support. Instead, what they pursue is merely temporary satisfaction for their hollow and fragile ego. But that ego, not nurtured from within, is like a bottomless pit that can never be fully filled. No matter how many new supplies they try to gather, the dissatisfaction and emptiness will always simmer beneath the surface. Furthermore, this emptiness often leads them into a vicious cycle of seeking and disappointment. They set high expectations for new relationships, hoping that others will bring the fulfillment they lack. But as soon as they realize that no one can perfectly meet these unrealistic expectations, they quickly become disillusioned, frustrated, and start searching for someone else to replace them. This cycle continues, and with each repetition, the disappointment grows larger and the sense of emptiness deepens. This not only harms the people they become involved with, but also exacerbates the emptiness within themselves. The narcissist doesn't realize that the problem does not lie with others, but with the way they approach relationships and their need to control everything to serve themselves. They cannot build a genuine or lasting connection because they are incapable of seeing others as individuals with inherent worth. And no matter how hard they try, the narcissist cannot escape their deep dissatisfaction. They are trapped in the very trap they created, seeking fulfillment from the outside without realizing that the real solution lies in facing the emptiness within themselves. Until that happens, they will continue living in a state of deprivation, repeating the cycle of searching but never being satisfied. In the shimmering light of the complex emotions after escaping a relationship with a narcissist, we not only find relief, but also touch valuable lessons. The constant question, did they really care when you were no longer with them, echoes like a sad symphony in your mind. But the greatest lesson is not in understanding the narcissist's emotions, but in the journey of rediscovering yourself. The narcissist, with their fragile yet arrogant ego, does not care in the way you expect. They don't feel heartbroken or regretful in the way you once thought. Instead, they only feel the loss of the supply, the emotional responses, the attention, and the energy you once gave. You were like a mirror reflecting the perfect image they wanted to see of themselves, and when that mirror disappeared, they lost a part of themselves. But this attention does not stem from love or appreciation. It originates from inner instability, from the need to control and fill their hollow ego. They may come back to find you, but not because they miss you as a valuable person in your own right, but because they miss the sense of power you once provided. The first thing you need to learn is to separate yourself from how they define you. In a relationship with a narcissist, you are often devalued, manipulated into believing you are not good enough, and turned into an energy supply. But the truth is, your worth does not lie in whether or not you satisfy them. When you distance yourself from the narcissist, you have the chance to look at yourself, not through their distorted lens. You begin to understand that you do not need to struggle to be loved, that you do not have to sacrifice yourself to be accepted. This is the moment when you reclaim ownership of your value. At first, you may feel empty, as though you have lost a part of yourself, but in reality, you are being freed from the burden of control and manipulation. You are standing before the opportunity to rebuild yourself, no longer confined by the frameworks they once imposed on you. This freedom is not just about escaping their presence, it is also liberation from the false beliefs they planted in you. Take this opportunity to explore new things about yourself, from forgotten dreams to abilities you never knew you had. One of the hardest but most important lessons is understanding that the narcissist cannot change unless they actively want to. You cannot heal them or make them a better partner. Spending time trying to change them will only cause you to lose your precious energy. This truth is not meant for you to become bitter or angry, but to learn how to accept reality and let go. When you no longer expect anything from them, you are no longer bound by them. When you distance yourself from the narcissist, you will realize that all the love and attention you once poured into them can now be redirected toward yourself. Nourish yourself by building healthy habits, engaging in activities that bring joy and meaning, and opening your heart to healthier relationships. Seek support from family, friends, or even support groups that can help you get through this phase. You're not just healing wounds, but building a stronger version of yourself. A narcissist might attempt to hover you, pulling you back into the same toxic cycle. They may use sweet words, promises of change, or even psychological tricks to make you soften. But remember, their goal is not to build a healthy relationship. It's to re-establish control. Don't let them come back and destroy what you've worked so hard to build. Set clear boundaries and protect your freedom. Relationships with narcissists can leave deep wounds, but those wounds can also become a powerful source of strength if you know how to use them. Every lesson you learn and every step forward in your healing journey is proof of your resilience and worth. Finally, remember that a narcissist does not define who you are. You are not just what they thought of you, but everything you have been, are, and will become. When you learn to love and value yourself, you'll realize that leaving a narcissist isn't just an ending, it's a promising beginning to a new life, free, strong, and more complete than ever before. Narcissists are like dazzling birds, beautiful yet isolated, soaring through a world of their own, immersed in their self-created glow. When you step away from their whirlwind, it's like a gentle breeze passing by, momentarily unsettling their proud wings but soon fading into nothingness. For their world revolves solely around their ego, where the self is the center, and you are merely a faint blur, passing through their endless journey of self-admiration. But dear one, remember, true happiness does not lie in dependence on someone else's gaze. It lies in the journey of discovering and cherishing your own worth. Like a small bird breaking free from its gilded cage, you will soar freely into the vast open skies, searching for new horizons where genuine love and empathy will warm your soul. Let the past rest in peace. Take bold steps forward on your own path and trust that true happiness is waiting for you ahead.